Hi, welcome back to my channel, 18 Crow Tarot. I just wanted to do an energy check-in. Let's see what the message is for you at this moment in time. Trust that there's something in here for you. What does the viewer need to know at this moment? So isolation. So let's say someone is dealing with anxiety. Thank you, Spirit, for, helping us through this message. What can this person do if they're dealing with anxiety, isolating thoughts? Ooh, why is this back? Oh, interesting. All right, so almost like not taking act. So how can you deal with that? Let me see. Okay, so what makes you feel like that is probably a connection. How can you deal with this? So let me check something. All right, so for the Page of Swords, I'm getting the energy of like someone who just talks but doesn't back it up. The Six of Cups, let's see what it's talking about. It's talking about wanting certain things, right? Wanting to be stable, being the king, and being a provider, being someone giving. But deep down, what's isolating you is the thinking of the things you've lost because you're still hanging on to the past. And it's so interesting in this reading. I really didn't even make this happen like that. It came out as such an even. Look at the feng shui of this read. We have isolation right underneath. It's explaining what's keeping you isolated is staying stuck to the past. But then we have that you're talking big game, but you're also, this is keeping you. It's almost like the threshold that if you've been seeing the readings that I've posted, this collective, it seems like we're all going through a threshold right now. We're at the precipice of the past and the future. But in this reading, if it's a love reading, I'm going to say it two ways. A love reading, this line of isolation, of thinking in the past, of like, it's just emotional turmoil and thoughts at the end of the day. It's keeping you from connecting with your divine counterpart because it's the Queen and the King of Pentacles. So it's like someone that's like really just made for you. It's like made from the same cloth. And we have the Three of Pentacles. So it's like planning and creating. That number 3 is the number of creation. So it's really creating that Empress energy. So if this is only for one person, a single person, in the concept or in the hopes of shadow work, like you're working on yourself and this is a message that resonates with you, what this is saying is your ego, the masculine side, the logical side of things, the mental, is keeping you from connecting with your feminine side of creation. You're being gentle with yourself, letting yourself bloom, receiving, and being able to be open to that, to that creation. Because we have 2 3s here too. 3 of Pentacles and the Empress is 3. So I feel like that's what's happening. And right now it seems like you, not right now, but like what keeps you sometimes, it's almost like the 3 spilled cups. There goes another 3. So let's see what we could do about this. Oh, let's see this one. Okay, so what can we know more about, I guess, the masculine side? What can we know more about the masculine side? Like the lovers. Yes, so you want that. So you're craving for that almost. And what can we know about the feminine side? And take this as it comes, if it's for you or if it's for someone else. But just see it as like the feminine and masculine parts of yourself. What else can we know about the feminine side of this reading? 5 of Pentacles. So it's almost like a financial, so yeah, okay, so let me see. Okay, they're building. So the feminine side is almost like healthily building, thinking of growth. It's still went through something, a loss of something. If we got 5 is like a loss, right? 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. So, but it's still going. It's like flourishing. Let's see what else about the guys. 3 of Swords. So yeah. It's the fear that's keeping you stuck. The fear of being hurt. Anything else? Anything else for the Page of Swords? Ooh, that fell. Oh, let's see. We have Ace of Swords. So that confirms that you're thinking of that taking action, decisive, new beginning as well. But it's almost like you're not doing it because of the hurt. So let's ask what can you connect to? What archetype can you connect to in order to help you through this period? The Vow. Interesting. We have the Poet at the bottom. I'm going to take that. And then we have the Mentor at the top. I'm going to take those and I'll tell you why I felt called to. How about the feminine? How about more about the... this is just beautiful. How about this one? How about the 5 of Pentacles? What more can you say about the 5 of Pentacles? Okay, 6 of Cups. So, and Sun of Cups. Sun. This is a new deck, by the way. Is sun supposed to be A? I don't know. Let me see. Let me check real quick. I'm gonna pause it while I look for it. Okay, so Son of Cups, artistic, introspective. Like all the Cups family, the Sun truly excels within the arts. He's usually a musician or a visual artist of some kind, and he finds success within his field. His natural tendency to look inward adds to his charm and mystique. To others, he may seem secretive and even peaceful, while deep inside he carries a dark kernel of intensity. Ooh. So right now, it's almost like you're bursting. Like you're giving it all. You're keeping it grounded, and that's keeping you stable. You know, like you're building on that. But it's literally bursting. Look, we have two, the roots and above. So it's like as above, so below, and you're bursting of creativity. You're really, really, really like using your feminine side, and the Empress energy is like shining through. It's honestly, everything is so beautiful that I'm just, okay. So this embodies that poet, that creative, that putting it into something, putting it into pentacles. How are you transmuting and harnessing that energy of that pain? Because clearly there was also a loss. So the feminine side of you is doing great by transmuting into something tangible, and that's gonna build success, into your own life. So this is what we're getting. The mentor aspect of it is asking you, it's almost like as when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. So now that you're open to growth, now that you're open, and why is because you're here, you're learning, you're seeking for guidance, you're seeking for knowledge. And it seems like you're being called to connect those two energies within yourself. Connect that, being able to create it, and then also talk in the big game, because you really want to, right? Like you're tired of, yeah, like from the past of like what hasn't happened, or just not being there. So right now you're just like working on that heavily. Let's see what the Spirit of the Wheel would say. Anything else that would be added to this? Okay, expectation, process, and goals. Okay, so having high expectations sometimes, like, it could set you up to be like let down, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but so there's the dark side and the light side. There's a process of things, and I feel like that's what you need to possibly understand. Even though you want to be here or together with someone, there's still lingering things that need to be cleared out before that comes in. So understanding that process, it gives you patience. It helps you work on that. But you're still like having a high expectation as well is what's helping you bring that in, because now you're not being distracted from the goals that you want. And as something that would help you is connecting your goals and keeping them on check, like making sure that you're actively going through that. So if you don't have a mentor, if you're seeking for a mentor, or if you are a mentor yourself, if that calls to you, it's almost like it's helping you tap into that energy of yourself, because at the end of the day, we all guide ourselves to the best future that we have or that we want. And it's yeah, it's just I guess food for thought in a way. Connect to nature, connect to trees, like staying grounded with those emotions of isolation is just an illusion, because separation and time is all an illusion basically. So let's see what the shadow deck, yeah, it's asking you to release, to think about your pillars of creation, connect to the underworld. It's like balancing that and then create something on top of that. You're the creator, so it like use that to create. That's your creative side, your feminine side. That's what it's actually doing. Let's see an angel card. Spontaneity. I feel like that energy is gonna help you at the moment. If you spontaneously feel like going out and having fun or something, or if you feel like creating something, I feel like that energy is to your advantage at this moment. Anything else about this reading? Let's see. 8 of Discs. Yes, it's almost like carefully planting the seeds that you want and release. Look, on top of release, we have the Tower. It's like the revelation, letting things fall, whatever is really not holding you, the desires, the devil energy. And the Prince of Wands, I saw this in a different read. Confirmation burp. But yes, having that like spontaneous beginning of just passion. Follow your highest excitement. And that doesn't mean the desire. It doesn't mean following the attachments. No, it's actually calling you to release attachments. Look at how many people are falling out of this. This person is ascending, and you have the eagle here flying with the, what is that, a wand? I don't know if that's a snake or a wand. It feels like it's a wand, and look over here, it's like the wand is here. So it's almost like you're ascending and you're going to grab that wand to be the magician, to be the creator, to be the weaver. of your reality, creating that. And there's people that's gonna fall out of your life. It's normal, but once you see that, it's like the third eye, you know, like what they say. It's like once you see something, you really can't unsee it. And that's how you break those attachments, by seeing it and then just being careful about what you plant, being patient about it, being that Virgo energy is going to help you, being I want to say diligent, but it's like organized, and in help with also staying youthful and active, and releasing anything else that doesn't serve that, because that's how you're building like the pillars of your life, the pillars of who you are. Let's see the energies that are with you. The second house, Pisces and Mars. Ooh, juicy. So Pisces is the creative, spiritual waters. So the psychic realms, dreams, faith, and sacrifice. So it's gonna feel like a sacrifice, like letting go of the old or things like that, like letting go of the past hurts, or you know. But at the same time, if you're the type of person that gives you strength, then use it. Because if you sacrifice something, it's like the law of life. You get something in return. So think about it, you know. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then we have Mars, which is the drive and energy. That's that Prince of Wands energy. Sexuality and desires. Ooh, we had the desires with the devil card as well. So ambition, impulse, projection, and male energy. So there's just a lot of male energy, but it's also creative with Pisces. Having faith in your masculine side, having faith that you will provide for yourself. And because if this is for one person, you know, then it's both sides are you. And yes, the second house is money, work, income, daily routines, values, material possessions, priorities, habits, your job, and your work ethic. So this is where you're being tested right now, is trying to not stay too isolated where you can't function in society or in daily life or working, you know, to provide for yourself at the end of the day. All right, so I hope you like this reading. I hope there was a message here for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, if you like it, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, as I'm clearing this out, I started to think about the isolation card again, and I forgot to mention that sometimes isolation is not a bad thing. So instead of seeing it as like a loss, and it could be like you could be reflecting, you know. Sometimes we go into isolation to protect ourselves from external opinions, right? Things that are not for us, and or that might not help in the moment. So isolation is good to protect yourself, but being from that energy of like it could turn on you. So I feel like this is a call to not let it turn on you. You know what I mean? To use the isolation time to connect to the underworld, to connect to your inner forces and capabilities, the inner creative, the inner poet, and the inner mentor or view, by releasing the things that possibly in the past kept you from seeing the beauty that you are in yourself, and seeing how you can grow from that as the weaver that you are. So it feels like that was one of the last things that would connect this whole message, is that isolation is it's not a bad thing when you can generally grow from it. Because like as you can see it, as you were able to see it, it's like you want this, but this keeps you tethered to almost like not being able to, right? So yeah, just use it as a process to heal, a process to mend yourself, and in return you will be able to allow these to come together, the pillar of who you are, the feminine and the masculine, the seen and the unseen, and you will be able to basically use this as wisdom, and now use it as the mentor side of you. But the lovers is like the two energies coming together, building from thought into sense, into physical form, passionately too. It's just like a lot of passion I see. And the Empress energy is that feminine side, that completeness. Emperor, take it as it resonates. If you're feminine or masculine, you flip the energies. But this is all in order to help you grow. All right, that was the last thing. Bye.